all the rest except for this chest. And it looks like we are off.
So Psyduck on the right finds 20 rupees, and in the Sanctuary chest from Darklink is 5 rupees.
Right,
I do like that Team 4K are both using Pokemon sprites for their race. I actually haven't seen the Psyduck sprite before.
Yeah, that'll be probably the first use I've seen of it as well. And our Treepill getting some arrows. Meanwhile, oneup is headed down to do South Shore.
Yeah, unusual to do this so early, but he gets a mirror for his troubles from that first chest. And it looks like FEARAgent and Ack are both going to do their lumberjack checks.
Alright, let's see what's on Lumberjack here.
Uncle in the Sewers has a blue male, so our Psyduck evolves into Golduck. And Lumberjack is just 20 rupees. However, Aghanim, this is for the Carp Week, it's also all dungeons, so every dungeon has to be cleared, including Agatha. So you are going to see Aga 1 at some point. It's just very likely to be after the runners have completed all the other dungeons available to them, and then they can just, right before heading into face Ganon, they can just mirror over and fight Aga in his tower.
And Fear is going to pick up that piece of heart over there. Meanwhile, oneup didn't have bombs, so couldn't continue on to Mini Moldorm. Looks like oneup is going to head up to the castle.
And Kohrek himself is farming some bombs in the bushes south of the grove, and he gets his single bomb, so he's going to continue on to Kakariko with that. There's a sword in the basement of the Thieves' Hideout in the Lost Woods. I'd say it's a nice early find.
Yep, so both Fear and Ack picking up that sword, and now headed to Kakariko Town to see just what we got going on. And looks like Ack did get some bombs, so we'll have got at least one bomb, so we'll have that. And it looks like they're low on cash, so Fear is gonna just have to gamble and see if there's money, enough money, or some bombs in here.
The bombs are 20 rupees and a heart container. That's just enough to get him a pack of 10 bombs, but it's going to be leaving me very short for the bottle fender. So, looks like oneup is actually going to go for a hula hand play.
And Ack picking up the hammer in Blind's house.
That probably outdoes the sword in terms of early game finds. A lot more offensive power than sword, smaller hitbox, but it also gets you past various obstacles in the world, so generally a far better item than a single sword.
I would imagine with oneup doing this Houlihan is going to be charged with finding what's on Zora today.
Yeah, it could be that FEARAgent isn't confident he's going to have the money for Bottle Fender and really wants oneup to just pass through and check that, but yeah, oneup is going to the Sanctuary and is mirroring through the front with that early mirror. Just one of those little shortcuts he can do. And he is headed left, yeah, so he's probably going to be doing a Kakariko clear too.
Alright, so Fear is going to go back to the well and blow out the back of that and get that 50. Meanwhile, Bottle Vendor has Ether, so we got 2 of our medallions in Kakariko Town. Bombos in Chicken Hut and Ether on the Bottle Vendor.
It's unusual to get both medallions, well, 2 of the 3 medallions so early in Seed. And it could be that both of Misery Mine, Tadrock are bombers or Ether, or they are alternating between 2. Or the Seed could choose to spite us and have both of the dungeons be Quake, but we don't know yet. We'll find that out much later.
Alright, so oneup is going to head over to the east, and looks like he's going to take a peek at the island and probably get some bombs here.
FEARAgent now picks up that hammer in the bottom of Blindside and probably might be getting that choice to send oneup away from Kakariko because he did pass by just to get that sword in Lost Woods, so not quite optimal the way the RNG has worked for them with bombs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So it looks like
And
Kohrek is headed towards the to do the rest of the front of escape, and Acktheboker is going to do the south Hyrule route, whilst oneup is going over to Shahrazwar's hut.
yeah, it would be really nice for Kohrek to have had that mirror do an escape, because it's one of the more annoying dungeons to do, to go all the way to the back. And hey, we got some silvers in the Saha's closet.
Silvers are another excellent early find, although typically when you find silvers early, it then ends up with a bow being somewhere inside of a rock, you know.
You know, easy places to access.
Of course, I love ice rods on Laser Bridge. I love them. So onup's going to take those rupees he got in Hulahan and take them into Eastern Palace, which is I have to wonder why he did the Hulahan, considering he's not actually doing the like Kakariko checks that FEARAgent did. Like I'd expect if he was doing an early Hulahan, he would be doing the Kakariko stuff that FEARAgent did and be able to check out the bottle fend all in one swoop. But no, but he's actually doing our first dungeon dive, and nothing of the rupees just yet.
And Fear is going to go check out the mini Moldorm cave, since oneup did not have bombs when he first went to South Shore.
And there's nothing much in Mini Moldom, just some rupees.
And let's see what we're going to have in Ice Rod. And Kohrek going to show us what's in Zelda's chest over here.
And he's just setting up a death orb with the green guys here. Ooh, a moon pearl in Zelda's chest. No, I've been seeing a lot of moon pearls in Zelda's chest lately. I didn't know she was into collecting pearls. So we don't have Dark World access just yet. We still need some form of lift upgrade to get into Dark World. So I'm just going to be hoping that the paragraphs pop up pretty soon. If they don't pop up at all, we might be forced into a very early Aghanim play, but hopefully we can avoid that.
Yeah. And let's see. oneup probably has the best chance of finding those gloves, because unless we haven't seen a Gina yet. Well, there's the flute, so we got Death Mountain access.
Yeah, now we'll send oneup over to Kakariko and check out that bottle fender with the cash he's got in hand. So that's pretty good for him, actually. And he can get his hammer on the way there too from Blind's hut. So
Yep.
so
And he's
Ack
got
is sorry.
he's got mirror too, so that's East Death Mountain open.
So Ack is already on his way to pick up that moon pearl from the Zelda's chest in Hyrule Castle, whilst Kohrek looks like he's going to be the one going into Eastern Palace first.
So it looks like Fear is checking Uncle. Probably will check the front of Escape as well.
Yeah, he's got to get his mirror from Uncle. Oh wait, it was blue mail from Uncle and mirror from the other chest.
Mirror was in the dam.
Damn. Okay. Already losing track. So yeah, he's just stopping by for the defensive upgrade, which, considering you're on 5 hearts, is suddenly really, really nice to have.
And for those of you in chat wondering which team is which, we've got on the left-hand side, we've got Team Kappa, and on the right-hand side, we've got Team 4K Fourth Forehead.
On FEARAgent stream, you can see the Team Kappa logo, which is Kappa, beautiful, and 4K Fourth and Foreheads logos on Axe stream. It looks like it's a bunch of Zords checking out a chest with half magic in. Oh, Ack making use of that Ether medallion to freeze the green guard in here and then chuck the green guard at the ball and chain guard. It's quite a bit quicker way of doing it than just throwing pots at the guard. But I don't know if it was that efficient to use considering he has a hammer, but if you account for the time it takes to use the Ether medallion in there. But, you know, it's nice to see.
I might think that might have been a meme play.
Memes in this game? Never. So 1UP is activating his flute at 10 minutes in, so get your 07s in chat for 1UP. I imagine he's going to be headed straight to Death Mountain with this. Probably going to get the old man from the cave whilst the lamp is still somewhere in the world unknown. But...
And the terror of South Hyrule is unleashed.
Although he's not actually using it. Oh yeah, but he's getting his medallion from Chicken Hut. So FEARAgent finds that moon pearl in the front of Escape, and depending on what 1UP finds in Death Mountain, if he gets some gloves, he may well be headed straight over to Escape afterwards to get that moon pearl. Not much you can do with a moon pearl yet on Death Mountain anyway, because no gloves. So you can check out stuff like Paddock's Cave, but you can't get into the Dark World.
Yeah, but the big story here is going to be checking East Death Mountain. At least we can get to the light side with the hammer, the mirror, and so we'll be able to see if there's any good stuff there. Plenty of checks to be had there.
Yeah, Ack is actually making his way through the dark sewer, so on his way to the 3 chests in the back of Escape. Now, he's not going to find, he may find a lift upgrade there, but it's not the lift upgrade he's intended to get. So,
and there's our first bottle.
Yeah, I'm interested he's going for the sequence break, actually. We have to see if FEARAgent does the same thing, or is only going to Dark Cross. And yeah, 1UP's going for that bottle. Failing the bottle is really valuable when you're on just 4 hearts and blue mail. But it unlocks a sick kit too, and you get a hint halfway troubles at the same time, so it's all gains.
And Ack picking up the ice rod in the back of Escape. Oh, looks like it was fire. It was a misclick on the tracker. So we got fire rod, not ice rod.
Chat was calling it fire rod. These sprites can be a bit hard to distinguish. So Kohrek also activating his flute. There's a vanilla piece of heart on top of Spectral Rock, which 1UP is grabbing. And he's headed into Tower of Hera. No fire source yet, so he may or may not be locked out of doing this dungeon.
Fear is spinning in the dark trying to find that mouse that has the key.
1UP gets a small key, so he's stuck in here. But he doesn't have to spend time clearing out the basement for now. Kohrek is giving us our first look at Agina.
And 1UP is headed to East Death Mountain.
Gotta be careful around these Igors and Dead Rocks. The Igors in particular do quite a lot of damage. Now, he thought about going up to Tower of Rock there, but forgot. Wrong road. Can't actually see what medallion required. So he's going for Spiral Cave here first.
Fear's still trying to track down that mouse with the key.
Ack's also getting his flute. We're seeing Team 4K both do a lot of the same things that they've already done. Picking up that moon pearl, picking up that flute. And Ack's probably going to go over and get that farrod now from... No, Kohrek may well go get that farrod now.
And we got a big development here. 1UP finding a pair of gloves in Spiral Cave.
And that's exactly what he was hoping for to find on East Death Mountain. So this is great for him. He does take a death, but he's got that fairy in a bottle to help him.
And luckily, Fear finally getting that key from the mouse, and will find that fire rod. So that's good news for Team Kappa. And Team Kappa slightly ahead in knowledge at the moment. That glove is going to be a big deal. And there's the bow as well, but Kohrek is on the way to the east, so it won't be long till Team 4K finds those items as well.
Fear is setting up a fake flip here, or trying to. He gets it this time, and he's going to take the whirlpool over to the northeast.
And Ack, looks like Ack picked up the mushroom in Dark Sewers and is now turning it in.
Yeah, as is FEARAgent. So almost synced mushroom checks here.
It's just some bombs. So I wouldn't be surprised to have oneup hold on to the mushroom, or maybe never pick it up. Oh, it looks like Fear is going to save scum that mushroom.
Oh, he had already taken the save and crit before doing the fake flip to the whirlpool to the magic shop, so he doesn't lose anything by save scumming that mushroom back into his inventory.
I do believe Fear picked up the moon pearl.
Yeah,
should have that on the tracker.
Yeah, it was in Zelda's chest, and oneup's going to get his moon pearl from the chest himself, so that he can have Dark World access. And imagine FEARAgent's going to very swiftly get that hammer and the flute, so that he can also get his Dark World. But Ack is on his way to East Death Mountain, right in the footsteps of Kohrek. They're kind of seeing them do the same movements here. Fear and oneup have been a bit more split right now, but Kohrek and Ack are kind of emulating each other here.
Well, I mean, there's not really much, there's nowhere else really for Ack and Kohrek to go. Because as you point out, sometimes they split off and then they reconverge, and that's how you kind of like make sure that you're both kind of together and on pace, together, so that you don't have one teammate finishing way ahead of the other.
Axe looks like his Ack is going to do a tough hair clear because he has a fire rod, so he can light those torches in the basement to continue.
Yeah, and they are diverging a little bit here by Ack doing tower and Kohrek doing East Death Mountain. So, they'll be able to tell each other, hey, what's in here, what's in there.
Now, FEARAgent is heading into Eastern Palace.
I don't recall there being anything here.
Nor do I. I'm interested that he's doing this without the bow, because oneup sort of told him where that bow was in Paradox Cave. Oh wait, there was a flute was in here. Never mind.
Oh, yes, flute was in here. That's right.
Yeah, both Ack and Kohrek have done this, and Fear is the last one to go get it.
And here comes our sick kid check.
Big bit of love. So oneup is going to be our first run into the Dark World, but it looks like because this flute's holding FEARAgent behind, he's actually the fourth of our runners, so this doesn't really give Team Kappa much of an advantage just yet. oneup almost takes the wrong route to the Dark World portal, but without the Titansmiths, you have to take the long way around by taking the west way into the woods here, then loop around to the north and back down using the hammer to pin down stakes, and then.
Yeah, if only Link could climb over fences or something.
I think this is the trope known as the insurmountable waist-high fence. You tend to see it a lot in games like Zelda or Pokemon or, in classic Nintendo stuff, really.
And Ack is taking on the Troll Dorm. I believe we got both the items, and I don't think they were anything really. Oh wait, no. There's item 2. I stand corrected, and there's the flute. The flippers, while Fear is activating the flute.
Meanwhile, Kohrek's giving us our first look at Hype Cave, whilst oneup is going through the Village of Outcasts. So Ack is probably going to go over to the right, get his bow, and then probably do a Village of Outcasts to clear himself. And nothing much popping up in Hype Cave.
It looks like Fear is gonna go grab the old man, because oneup did not do that. So nothing in the village itself, and oneup looks to be headed into Thieves Town.
Yeah, it is our green pendant today. Kohrek's going to take the south road to check out K45, Stumpy, and the digging game, but he won't be able to proceed into the village from here. So oneup may be just checking the first 4 chests in here, because that's a pretty quick check, and it doesn't cost you that much time if you want to clear out Thieves Town later. But we may go for the full clear, but I doubt he's going to go for a full clear.
I wouldn't be so sure. We do have the hammer, so the full clear is, on the table and got sufficient amount of hearts. So I think oneup can handle blind just fine.
We know some dungeons are in logic for completion already, for well, not quite in logic, but it can be completed, like Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace.
So we've got our 5 on Skull Woods, red pendant on Swamp Palace, blue on Ice Palace, and the 6 must be in the Light World.
Kohrek digging up a lot of cash in a digging game. This is a lot of digs, and at the end he gets another big bit of cash. So yeah, oneup is actually going for the full clear here. It is green pendant, so he'll get an additional item out of it later when he goes over to do Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness, but it could just be a huge waste of time first, so have to see.
Well, it is all dungeons, so no time wasted here.
Well, it depends. If the boots pops up in a really convenient crystal dungeon or something like that, then you could save a bunch of time in here by just dashing through for boots. Can't really be sure, but as this is Randomizer, you don't exactly know where those boots could be. They could even be somewhere in Ganon's tower that you never even checked, so it's an ace of Randomizer. You don't exactly know where everything is. Sometimes you've got to make the gambles.
And we've got a bee in a bottle in the attic. Ack went into Hype Cave and grabbed specifically the heart containers. Must have felt that he wanted the health.
And with his flippers, he's going to be doing his flippers checks here. He's also got the money for King Zor, so I think he's going to get all this done in one go. ₹20 from the hobo. No, I'm surprised a homeless man like that sitting under a bridge is so willing to give out cash.
Well, maybe that's the reason he's homeless. He just gives out any cash that he gets. He prefers to live the homeless lifestyle. And we got Blue Cane on the maiden chest.
Ooh, FEARAgent takes a big fall down to the bottom of the tower.
Yep, messing up that bomb jump. That's why I don't bother with that bomb jump. It's just kind of too costly if you mess it up.
Kohrek checking out a few items in Skull Woods here, whilst Ack is doing the East Dark World checks. Just a piece of art on the pyramid.
Alright, so 1UP is about to engage blind, and Fear is going to find those flippers up at the top of Hera here, and Fear going...
He's going for another bomb jump, but he's getting his positioning wrong. Okay, now he's giving up now, just going to go do it the intended way.
It looks like Ack is finally picking up that blue mail. And down goes blind on 1UP's side.
Absolutely no trouble for him. He did have the Cane of Burner there for a backup if necessary, and the Cane of Burner just utterly trivializes blind, but he gets his green pendant.
One thing to note, 1UP could cut from here, route in that green pendant and go over and clear both Pod and Eastern. You know, while we don't have the lamp and it wouldn't be in logic, I'm sure 1UP can navigate all those dark rooms.
I'm starting to wonder if something's hiding in Spike Cave now. That's fully in logic.
And 1UP gonna go play the dig game and do pretty much close to 30 digs here. And as the FEARAgent gets the flippers, we're going to get a catfish check on Ack's side.
Just a bundle of 10 sticks, and Ack moves so fast that he doesn't even pick it up. But he's got the Waterfall Cave to check out here, and the King's Sword and the Sword Edge, so plenty more items available for him. So just a hard container and 50 rupees in the Waterfall Cave.
Alright, so Fear is going to go pick up his gloves and bow at this time.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he's headed into the Dark World much later than all our other runners.
Yeah, unfortunately he had to waste a lot of time trying to track down that mouse in the dark sewers there. Probably spent a good 5 minutes on that.
So Kohrek taking on Morphler now. He's got quite a few firework shots. He's only on half health, so
and Zora has the ice rod.
Incautiously. Well, that's both our rods sorted, and really conveniently before Turtle Rock too. So that is nice.
Kohrek doing... Go ahead.
Still gonna need the Titan Smiths and the Cane of Samara to actually do Turtle Rock, but you know, the rods are probably the most annoying part about that.
Yep. And Kohrek opting to do hammer strats on the moth, but takes a death, I believe has a fairy, yep. So, has that safety. And Ack is going into Pod. And I'm pretty sure that Ack has the bow, should be on his tracker.
Yeah, he definitely went into Paradox Cave and got a bow, because that's also where the gloves were. So oneup40 is right behind, also headed into Pod.
And Fear makes it into the Dark World. Ack picking up those silvers.
Also taking a quick trip into Hype Cave to pick up some safeties. I wonder if either Ack or oneup are going to both try to clear Pod. It is possible for them to clear Pod with the items they have, but the dark rooms, particularly in the basement with the many turtles in the room, it's pretty tricky to get through if you don't know exactly how to do it. So
Well, the one thing about that turtle room that our runners have as an advantage is we do have fire rods, so we can light those torches to make that turtle party in the dark not as big of a deal.
Oh yes, it doesn't put it in logic, but it makes it very possible to do. Kohrek taking a quick peek at bumper ledge here, just 50 rupees.
All right, so oneup is synced up with Ack here, picking up the powder. So fake mushroom, fake powder will not be necessary today.
Ooh, Ack takes the lead because oneup decides to walk past that pitfall there and then decides to go back to it and pick up a small key. Because you can't check out the vanilla big key chest without a small key, which I think he was thinking of doing and then realized, hey, no key. Better jump down there.
Looks like oneup is just going to go from... The boots are in Mimic Cave. Wow, what a place for the boots. And RC generating a rather straightforward hint today.
Unfortunately for FEARAgent, he went to check out the hobo, but he hasn't gone on to do the rest of the Zor area, so he's missing out on that ice rod knowledge.
Yeah, we'll see if that comes back to be a thing, because ice rod not really even an advantage at this moment, because we don't even have access to Turtle Rock. So if it comes down to where they're gonna start having to look for that ice rod, that's where we're gonna see that advantage come into play. And Kohrek in Thieves Town. Ack picking up that big key, and looks like oneup is going to circle back for the chest that he missed.
He went and did the Burlock side first, whilst Ack has just done that himself. So, given the keys they have so far, I think there should be an item in this chest. Oh, it's just another small key. Key to get a key.
Yeah, I would have waited till I did the back to do this, because whenever you end up skipping that chest in particular, if it comes down to it, you count your keys, and you know, you're gonna have, and you have one key left at that time. You know, you're gonna know it's a small key, because you're gonna need to have one small key left before going to the boss.
Well, Ack could probably get the most convenient lantern he could possibly hope for in the Palace of Darkness before doing the Dark Rooms.
Hey, it's dark in here. You're gonna need that. So Pod was in logic all this time.
Yeah, and you can pretty much mirror over to Eastern and finish that off faster here. Oh, there's a cape in Harmer's Hellway. Nothing on bumperlets, because we already saw that on Kohrek's side, but it's another invincibility item for that Spike Cave, and that's fully in logic due to having invincibility items and the bottle. So Fear is now doing his Zora air check, starting with Catfish. Oh, there's a hook shot in the Dark Maze in the Palace of Darkness. This is a pretty good palace.
Yeah.
And 20 rupees in the big chest, so there's going to be the compass on the Helmasaur itself. But it's all dungeon, so gonna have to do the Helmasaur anyway, regardless of crystal.
Yeah, we'll probably see oneup get the hook and the big chest here, go straight to Helma, and then we'll probably see Ack and oneup mirror and go finish off Eastern.
So, considering our items, we are very, very close to go mode at the moment. We don't know what medallions we need for the dungeons yet. We need the Cane of Samaria, and I think that's about it, actually. Just the Cane of Samaria. And of course, the Titan Smiths. So we've got to track down both of those items.
Yeah, Cane of Samaria and Titan Smiths. Or potentially book if Titan Smiths are in desert. Oh, we do have Samaria. Kohrek did pick that up.
Yeah, it was in Skullwoods. I totally missed it, actually.
But yeah, so we'll still need Titan Smiths, or book if Titan Smiths are in desert.
So FEARAgent immediately headed over to Pass of Darkness because it's got the lamp, it's got the hookshot, tons of value in there.
Well, the boots, we both teams know where the boots are. They're in the Mimic Cave, so that's not an issue to track down.
So depending on when those Titan Smiths are, I wonder when everyone's going to decide, yeah, I want to go do Turtle Rock straight away because I want the boots for the rest of the seed, or if they decide that they're just going to leave Turtle Rock until last. Because leaving Turtle Rock until last gets into Ganon's Tower much more conveniently, but getting the boots gets you around the rest of the seed much more conveniently, so it's kind of a trade-off there. What do you want to go for first?
Yeah. And down goes Helma on X side. You know, just starting.
And Kohrek is headed up the mountain. I think he's going to be checking Spike Cave from here. He hasn't done Tower of Hair yet, so he could be finishing that off too before doing Spike Cave. Okay, yeah, he's skipping out on Spike Cave and just going straight to Tower of Hair.
And it looks like Fear is just gonna collect the big ticket items here, and probably finish off Pod as well.
Yeah, the node sharing and communication are good. They know exactly where all the keys in Paths of Darkness that they need are to get them their hookshot and their lamp, and then he'll just be on his way to Helmasaur. Now, interestingly, I don't think I saw actually clear out Eastern. He's going over to Swamp Palace. So in Swamp, because he's the first one here, he's probably going to be checking out the left side, hopefully trying to find those Titan Smiths. There's a lot of items in Swamp, so Titan Smiths could well be in here.
Yeah, I think this is a calculated risk, you know. If he did not go for Eastern, obviously you can clear that at any time, and it would have been a convenient time to do it, but also you don't lose that much time by not doing it. And this might be the calculated risk to race to find those Titan Smiths.
Yeah, they know the Titan Smiths are the only thing keeping, well, they're not sure about the medallions yet, but they know the Titan Smiths are theoretically the only thing keeping them from go mode at this point. So they're trying to find those as soon as possible, I reckon. They know it won't be in Eastern Palace because they've got all the items in there, so Eastern Palace is just one tick on the checkbox to do for completing this race, and that is it. Nothing else you gain from that.
Correct.
So yeah, run up, finishes off the Armor's Knights and gets a map. I don't think we've seen the green pendant item yet, have we? So One Up's going to be checking that out too. may have done it on his way into pod. In fact, I think, yeah, he must have done, because he is floating away.
Alright, so it looks like 1UP is probably going to do a Skull Woods check here.
Yeah, he'll get that cane of somewhere, and then he'll know that they only need Titansmiths to find. But it's looking likely at this point that given Team 4K's progress, they're going to find the Titansmiths first, and Kohrek is now headed into Spike Cave after Tailhair. So he's just going to be getting to the end here, then saving quitting out as soon as he finds the item.
So yeah, Fear is got one key and can just doesn't even need to bomb the big chest there. Can just grab that hook shot and leave unless he wants that extra 20 here. Or maybe 1UP didn't remember what was in the chest.
So there's nothing in Spike Cave except for a piece of heart. Kohrek is headed back into the East Dark World. I wonder if he's going to finish off Palace of Darkness from here to get his hook shot and his lamp, or if he maybe headed somewhere else, but quite likely he's doing Palace of Darkness though.
And 1UP getting trolled by a Wallmaster, moving that statue about and getting picked up.
So I think after FEARAgent is done in Palace of Darkness, he'll probably be the first one to head into Swamp Palace. Depends how quickly 1UP finishes Skullwoods though.
It also depends on if Fear decides to pick or do Eastern after this as well.
True, he could do that. It's actually quite possible that given 1UP's rate going through Skullwoods at the moment, he could be finishing it before Fear finishes Palace of Darkness anyway, so...
So Ack finished with left side. And 1UP headed to the back here.
Oh, there's a Book of Medora in the big chest in Swamp Palace. That opens up quite a few more checks where the Titansmiths could potentially be.
So now our Titansmiths could be on tablets or in desert. And Fear just hammering away at that Helmosaur King. Meanwhile, Kohrek is navigating through pod to get those items.
The saving grace of that book is that you don't have to worry about checking the pedestal at all, because the best thing the pedestal could have at the moment is a sword, and there's 3 swords up for grabs anywhere else in this seed, so I doubt the runners would be pulling a pedestal just for a sword. Maybe if they were doing Skullwoods last and they'd already done the penance, but seems unlikely.
Yeah, technically we do need also a second sword for go mode, because you can't fight or sword Ganon.
Alright, FEARAgent is going to finish off Eastern Palace from here, so I guess 1UP's going to go to Swamp. And apart from that book, Ack has found nothing in Swamp, so... but he's still pretty much ahead of all of our other runners at the moment, in terms of the checks done, pulled across their team.
So 1UP picking up the Cane of Samaria. But at this moment, the Cane doesn't do anything for us till we find those Titansmiths. I would imagine that 1UP would take this time, though, to check Magic Bat, perhaps, because already in the area.
Yeah,
But this also...
I'm not sure where he's headed now, because he could have mirrored outside of Skullwoods and then fluted to somewhere else, so...
This also could be bumper ledge in graveyard checks as well.
True, they haven't done that yet. Yeah, he's headed over to the right, so he's going to be checking out graveyard ledge. So Ack finishes from Palace, and I reckon from here he's just going to go straight over to the Bomber's Tablet, because pretty much the best time he can do it. And probably head into the Desert Palace from here to finish that off whilst he's at it. So quite convenient for him.
Looks like oneup. My guess is going to Hera to finish it off.
I guess, yeah, he needs to get the flippers from Moldor.
Yes, that's correct.
So he can't do Swamp without those, so... Alright, FEARAgent is going to he's going to be the first one to swamp on their team. And Ack is going to check out Magic Bat. I'd say it's definitely looking like the advantage is on Team 4K side at the moment. So they've been a bit more efficient with their routes and checking. They haven't had to, say, like double dip into Tower of Hera to clear it out, for example, because they already had a firewall going into there. So things have just turned out a little bit more advantageous for them, and they've got a bit of an advantage here. So Magic Bat had pretty much nothing for Ack, and now he's headed over to Desert.
And it looks like, as you called it, FEARAgent will be the first one on Team Kappa to go into Swamp Palace here.
It's looking quite linear so far. It's probably going to have to be use a book in Swamp Palace to go get the Titansmiths from the Desert Palace or the Ether Tablet. One advantage that oneup will have going into Swamp Palace is that you won't have to check out the left side like FEARAgent will be doing.
Yeah, the big question is, where are those swords at?
Piece of heart on the right side of the Desert Palace for more chest here. And there's the big key. The chat reminding us that the big key in Swamp Palace was on the left side, and you need the big key to unlock the big chest, which had the book. So actually, left side is mandatory.
And
there's
Desert.
a map.
Yep.
Yeah, just a map on a torch, so don't need the boots for that. We know that Bonk Rocks and the King's Tomb are going to be... They're not going to have anything useful except for maybe a sword, because at that point you have a Titansmiths and you're effectively being go mode minus a sword. And there's a really good chance that you'll just find a sword incidentally on the way along your progress for the seed, so they won't be getting too much out of their way for checks, I reckon, but still opening up any chests they come across incidentally.
Alright, so Ack headed to the back of Desert here. Meanwhile, Fear is going left side, so we'll get that book. And oneup is gonna check Spike Cave, so...
Yeah, he's routing it just like Kohrek before, just clearing out Tower of Hera to get those flippers and then checking out Spike Cave afterwards. There's nothing in Spike Cave, of course, because it's just a piece of heart, but it will help FEARAgent later.
So I mean, the real question is, where are the mitts?
Well, Ack hasn't picked up the map from Desert Palace, and that was on the torch, so the Landmolers could have them.
I can't think of anybody else unless Lanmo has a sword. Really, I can't think of anything else left.
There's the Ether tablet, but that's pretty much it as far as I can think of.
Yeah, because we're gonna need a Master Sword to even check those.
Ack just misses a single cycle on Landmolers, but with the Silvers, it's still a really quick kill on him. Oh dear, 3 bombs from Landmolers, so Ether tablet or bust, I guess.
Yeah, we still need a sword for Ether Tablet.
You don't need, like, actually, do you need a Master Sword for checking out the Ether tablets? I know you need a sword for checking it out, but I don't know if it has to be the upgraded sword or not.
You can check it without a Master Sword. You can read it, but to actually get the item, you need the Master Sword.
Oh, okay. So it can't be the Ether tablet then for the Titan Smiths unless the sword pops up somewhere else. But where else is there to check? Hacker, meanwhile, 40 at the Titan Smiths and tried to lift up the rock to get to the portal, but no bueno.
Chat pointing out Pyramid Fairy could be it.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, Pyramid Fairy. Yeah, that's Desert Palace and Skull Woods, so yeah, could be a sword and Titan Smiths in Pyramid Fairy. Sword and Pyramid Fairy would actually be vanilla. Oh, but that would be pretty mean. Say, like, if the Titan Smiths weren't there, then the sword would, then the mitts would have to be on the Ether tablet. So they'd have to go to the Pyramid Fairy to get a sword, so you could then head up Death Mountain and get the mitts, and ugh. The FEARAgent is cleared out most of Swamp Palace, and oneup40 is just following behind him. He's on his way to get that book too.
Yeah, because neither team has gotten both reds yet, and Ack will probably be the first here, given that Fear is still in Swamp, so Fear won't be getting to Desert faster than Ack can clear the Moth out, so Ack will probably be the first to check Pyramid Fairy. And then oneup is pretty much funneled into Swamp. Not much else for oneup to do other than come here, so we'll get that book as well.
Exactly the same on Kohrek's side too.
Yeah, people asking in chat about Ped. The best Ped could have is either an armor upgrade or a sword upgrade or some junk.
Now, Fighter Sword Arcus is pretty annoying to do because you either have to fiddle around with menus constantly to hammer the little puffballs after you hookshot them, or you've got to do Fighter Sword spins, which Fear was struggling with a bit, so now he's going for the menu swaps.
One thing we don't know as well if we're in go mode is we don't know the medallions of Turtle Rock and Meyer, so if Quake is required, we're going on some more hunts.
Oh yeah, this scene could still go wrong in many ways.
But unfortunately for our runners, there's not much left to really wander around for. The tablets could be a thing, but aside from that, you're pretty much funneled into Ice Palace if both of them are Quake.
I was counting out the pedestal earlier, but it's possible that Kohrek could be on a pedestal and Kohrek was required to get in one for dungeons. I think now at that point it would just be pure spite.
We are getting a ped check. Look at this.
Ack, you've got to equip your book, Ack.
Ack memeing us.
Oh, that is such a debate there. Goes to read a pedestal, doesn't equip the book, doesn't think to equip the book. Ouch.
Ack is thinking of all us back here in Chatland. Alright, so Fear is done with Swamp and is going to head over to Desert and potentially check Bombo's tablet here. Yep. So we're going to get at least a check and see what's on Bombo's.
Ack already did this, and I think it was just rupees from the sky. Yeah, rupees from the sky. So Ack is actually going for the Eastern Palace clear before going to do the Pyramid Fairy. Interesting. I mean, he has to do it at some point, but he's kind of denying us our knowledge at the moment. Also denying his teammate the knowledge, which... Your memes can only go so far before they become detrimental to yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't see necessarily a reason to do it, but at the same time, it's, you know, there's no reason not to do it. You know, so it's like it's kind of hard to say, you know, if it's good or bad. It's just one of those neutral plays that's like, you know, well, I might not do Eastern at this time, but I guess it's not that bad of an idea either.
Yeah, Ack is probably going to be finishing off the Almost Knights a little bit before Kohrek does Argus. So it's quite possible that Ack will do the Pyramid Fairy and Kohrek heads up to do the Ether Tablet. So they're going to be fairly close to each other after they finish these dungeons.
It could be that they are confident that they've done all the checks and Pyramid Fairy has to be the Titansmiths. And then they're just going to get these last miscellaneous, you know, he's going to get that Eastern Palace done while Kohrek finishes up Swamp. And then they can kind of resynchronize and split up again. Maybe one does Mire, one does Turtle Rock.
So it looks like Ack's going to check out the Pyramid Fairy first. He's taking the South Dark World portal.
Although I do have to give props to this seed for forcing a fighter's sword for this long.
Kohrek finishes up Swamp, and One-Up's just about to go take on Argus himself.
Yeah, if it's not Pyramid Fairy, I'm completely lost as to where it would be. I mean, if we pull a sword out of here, then that would be kind of funny.
Well, it's either going to be the Titansmiths here or a sword here leading to Titansmiths Ether Tablet. I cannot think of anywhere else they could be. I think everything has been checked at this point.
Certainly between both teams, we have seen everything.
Container, Titansmiths, there we go.
So literally, last location then, Titansmiths. And now Ack has some choices. probably will go to Meyer first.
Oh, FEARAgent having a little bit of trouble with landmines here. He's missing his silver out. Gets it on. Still doesn't quite get the 3 cycle, so going into a 4th cycle here.
And, well, what do you know? Misery Meyer is Quake.
Oh dear.
Oh, and there's Quake.
Mm.
That was short-lived.
Oh dear, retracted. Oh dear, retracted. Honestly, that is actually really disappointing. They could have at least been over a checkerboard cave.
It could at least be on Laser Bridge. But still no sword.
Yeah, so Axe still checking out checkerboard cave, and he's probably going to do a full clear of missing Mire. So what's the big key and the small key being the first 2 chests of Mire? It's always a God Mire when you don't actually want a God Mire, and you want to check other items in there. So FEARAgent is going to go get his Cane of Samaya and Scarwoods clear before... Well, he has to do Scarwoods anyway if he wants to check out Pyramid Phase, so he's going to do that first. So it looks like oneup is going to be the one doing the first checks for Team Kappa.
You know, I probably wouldn't do a full clear of Mire because there's only 2 items, and you probably find one on the way anyway.
Yeah, it's like, but the clear of Mire doesn't cost that much time unless you go check out the cutscene chest. So I could choose to skip the cutscene chest and check out the upper chest, so it only takes like a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would definitely skip cutscene because if you don't find even if there is a sword here, you got other chances to find more swords elsewhere.
So first chest is the compass. That's so Axe going to be spending a bit longer in here anyway.
And Kohrek finishing up desert. Meanwhile, oneup is making his way to the back. Alright, so Ack is going to... Wanted to check that switch chest, but gonna have to hit that crystal switch first.
Yeah, Kohrek's immediately going to check out the Pyramid Phase for their Titan bits, and Team Kappa aren't that far behind. They just have to respectfully finish Morphula and Lammerus, but they've got to go check out that Pyramid Fairy immediately rather than waste time on Ether Tablet, so they can still fall behind a bit here.
Yeah.
And given how close they are, there is a real possibility that they will split up. One goes for Ether Tablets and the other goes for Pyramid Fairy. Won't be a total loss if Ether Tablet has a sword. But
yeah. Basically, you know, Ack is out in front by himself, and then Kohrek is just a little bit ahead of Team Kappa. So there is room for Team Kappa to pull ahead if they execute cleanly and quickly.
Yeah, FEARAgent is struggling a lot with Morphula here. He kept hammering him into the spikes, and when you hammer Morphula into the spikes, he's programmed to be immune from spike damage, and so hitting him into spikes counts as the spikes doing damage, and so Morphula actually takes no damage at all. So, and FEARAgent was taking a lot of hits there, so almost died. I don't know if he still had that fairy in a bottle. In fact, his tracker says he has no bottles at the moment, so that was very dangerous for him, but he does get there. So oneup's headed to the Pyramid Fairy, and FEARAgent's going to get his Cane of Smire.
So we did see Ack pick up one item, a 300, but we're still missing a map and another item. So we might see it on Vitreous.
I'm interested that Kohrek actually didn't go to Ice Palace first, because he only checked that one chest there because he knew that only that one chest had the quick and the other chests were useless. But I'm interested that he could have gone to Ice Palace first and gone looking for some swords in there. So,
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting call here to get. You know, it's an opportunity to get knowledge, but then again, Ack, you know, may want to go ice anyway, because who wants to do? Well, we got Hammer, so I mean, like Hammer Trinex isn't that bad.
So OneUp's about to get his Titan's Mates, and FEARAgent's actually going to go to Feast Town, which he hasn't actually done yet. So it's a dungeon he needs to do, and he'll get the Titan's Mates and those Rusties in here, so he knows he needs to head out immediately and go do that.
Yeah, so it looks like
sorry.
Looks like the cutscene does have the items. So, again, even if it is a sword, there's two other swords out there to be found, and we've got very few checks left that aren't in dungeons. So, those swords will probably be found.
There's a lot of chests you could skip in Ice Palace depending on your key layout, and Turtle Rock is mostly a full clear regardless, so good chance you pick a sword up there or in Gan's Tower. So have to see if Kohrek decides to go check that cutscene or not. I didn't see where the big key was in here. It might have been in this left chest. Right, yeah, there it is. And yeah, Kohrek is not going to bother for cutscene. He's just going to say, if there's a sword there, let's leave it behind. I'm not going to waste time on that. And Ack is headed into Turtle Rock, so I think Kohrek's going to go to Ice Palace from here, or he could prove me a lie and go to Turtle Rock right after Ack. So
Chat pointing out the evil combinations of sword we could have. Sword on Ether, sword on Ped, and sword on cutscene would be pretty trolly. And that would be especially funny if there was a sword that they were looking for on Ped, because Ack had the opportunity to check the Ped there and decided to troll the audience.
Kohrek getting a little bit spooky there in the basement of Museum Maya. I'm also quite unsure if the steps to pull off a spooky accent glitch, but the game makes you think you're somewhere in a completely different room, so when you throw your firewall at the crystal box, the game thinks actually throwing it at the crystal switch and depresses the blocks for you. But I'm never quite sure of the setup for it, given how he was fumbling around with the Samaya block in the previous room, I thought he'd messed it up, but I think it was to do with the forward shots in the room after that. But spooky action is not one of those things I can never remember. So, keys on the right side of Turtle Rock. Now, OneUp's got his big key in Museum Maya. I have to see where he's going to go. He is skipping the cutscene too. So I don't think we're ever going to see it.
So we've already got 3 keys, so there is a good chance that Lava Chest might have an item.
OneUp hadn't checked out the chest there, 300 rupees, so he is going back left. Let's see. Now he is skipping cutscene. But he does have a chest on the right to go check out and then could go back, potentially.
So
Anyway,
lava chest is a big key.
Ack getting a few bites taken out of that, out of him by the chain chomps. They finally have a hungering for duck today.
So Fear will probably head on over to get those Titans mitts, and then we'll probably. I would expect an Ice Palace play. I mean, honestly, Ice Palace seems like the better play to split the duties, but again, One Up is almost finished with Meyer, so could also see a Turtle Rock.
Well, Kohrek is also headed to Turtle Rock himself, but basically he's just hanging behind Ack at the moment. Ack checks out items for him, Kohrek catches up a bit. They're just hoping to find a sword along the way and then just say, yep, we're done, we're just continuing on like we're in go mode. Because they would be in go mode, but yeah, I'm surprised they're just mirroring their movements here. Because, like, even though you could find a Master Sword, getting a Tempered Sword somewhere else would be a really huge advantage for Ganon.
And here's Hookshot Cave. I find that a lot of times Hookshot Cave has a sword. So far, nothing. And the Swagnet, so no swords. Wow, this seed is really burying those swords. But Ack gonna finally pick up those boots.
Alright, Fear has his Titan's Miss now. One Up is finishing victorious. Okay, Fear's going to do Mizumaya first, and Ack is doing a very pointless hover to the big chest.
Ack's just showing off for the crowd. Well, now that we have the boots, Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb are now open for sword locations. I mean, when you say pointless hover, I mean, you've had to go this whole seed pretty much on a fighter sword and no boots. I mean, you gotta do something fun with them. But Fear is headed into Mire, and One Up gonna give us our first look at Ice.
Yeah, Ice Palace is a quite compact dungeon with a lot of slippery falls, so the boots actually don't help you too much in there. So I would have gone for Ice Palace well before Turtle Rock myself. That said, Go Mode Ice Palace is a lot faster than non-Go Mode Ice Palace.
Thanks, game.
Well, yeah, that is a completely redundant hint, because he wouldn't have been able to read that hint without Burke, so he could get the Titan Smiths in the first place.
Good old laser bridge.
No swords!
Wow.
Now, all the other swords being in Ganon's town now would be the height of rudeness.
This isn't a Plando seed, right?
I actually didn't see if Ack had the map and compass yet. There could still be an item on Trinex, potentially.
I have never seen a seed hide swords this much.
Yeah, there is one more item on Trinex. Could be a sword. So Ack gets a little bit of ice breath on the ground because killing the heads with a hammer or the fighter sword is quite a bit slower than you would ideally want. Ice breath has time to get a breath off. Makes it just a little bit more difficult here.
Yeah, especially with hammer. Ack gonna have to very carefully aim those shots because we don't have the half magic just yet.
Alright, Trinex, are you gonna cough up a sword from Galata of yours?
Nope.
The rock turtle swallowed some arrows.
Alright, so 1UP is now back in chest checking mode because Ice has got that really weird dry spell where you do a bunch of things for a little while until you get to the next chest. You open one chest and it's just a drought for a little while.
Bottle of green goo, not what we're looking for.
But very nice to have in this dungeon. Oh, it looks like 1UP is gonna go for Cold Stare. Maybe 1UP is thinking
Ack has actually surprised me and is doing a big key game. I don't think we have time to start the game now. Because he's going to be headed straight into the basement, so unfortunately we're going to have to go... I was really expecting him to do the pendants first before heading into Ganstar, so that is my bad there. So, first chest in Ganstar is small key and a compass.
So 1UP is gonna do a hammer Cold Stare. Not sure if 1UP has any health safeties. But is hugging the top of the room to despawn the ice blocks that fall from the ceiling. Oh, this could be bad.
Yeah. We've got some fish bones in Ice Palace.
So there's the big key. Big key and on right side.
Yeah, number 4. And half magic too, but no sword!
We're still not in go mode.
So I think Kohrek's also going to be going into Ganon's Tower, and is probably going to be... Oh wait, nope. Ack's going to check out left side for swords.
Well, yeah, because, again, we're not in go mode until we get a second sword at the very least.
You could take on Aga 1 with... Well, Aga 2 with the fighter sword and hope you find a sword on the ascent, but, The time it takes Ack to get some chests in here and potentially find a sword will be allow Kohrek to pretty much catch up with him and get that big key on the right side. So, in the Stealth Swim, we just have a bunch of shiny rupees so far. There's a Master Sword, so finally Ack is in go mode. Oh, and a single arrow.
So I think Ack might say... looks like Ack is gonna give us an ether tablet check, or is going to meme us one final time. Nope, gonna give us an actual check. And it's a shield. Where is 1UP headed?
He needs to get his flippers from... No, wait, his Ice Rod from King Zoro.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
He doesn't have flippers, Mark, but he does have her flippers because he's swimming with them right now.
Yeah, Silvers and Master Sword X says, You know, if I don't find tempered on the way up, I think I'll be fine with this.
Oh, naughty! You've got the bow and silver arrows, man. You don't need to go clipping the mimics off the screen.
Ack is a
so anyway.
Ack is a champion at memeing. Yeah,
So,
for those of you confused, in the first two Igor, or Gorilla locked rooms in GT, you can clip them off the screen, and similar to the potion glitch in Pod, but instead of just moving the camera off the screen, you're literally moving the mimics off the screen.
And that opens up the door, which actually means that depending on your crystal layouts in a non-all dungeon seed, you could actually complete the game without the bow now. You'd have to be very lucky if your pendants being not in Eastern Palace or Palace of Darkness, but, well, I mean, your pendants being in Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness, but if they were, you can clear the game without a bow. Nice one cycle down the land bonus for Ack.
The clipping is relatively new.
Yeah, I first saw it at the end of the ZM-Z3 combo randomizer tournament in last.
I think it was like October last year that it was found.
It's probably found around then, and I definitely saw Aussie 101 pull it off in one of the tournament races.
At least that's what I've been told, so.
So Kohrek picks up his key, picks up his Master Sword. He's also headed up Ganon's Tower. And both oneup and FEARAgent are making their way through Turtle Rock now.
Yeah, that glitch is so new that there's still debate on whether it should be allowed or not. And there's Bacon, so Ack picking up Sword 3 in the mini Helma room.
It has been stated for this tournament that the mimic clip in Ganon's Tower is allowed. So even if Ack didn't have a bow coming into this point, he could do the mimic clip and they would be fine. But he has a bow, so he's literally just doing it for the memes. Hey, Ack.
And
yeah,
Ack,
that's what he gets for the memes. You fall down a pit.
Ack trying to disrespect Moldorm too.
I was wondering if he's going to take a second try after Moldorm blows up. No, he's just hook sunning across. Oh, 20 rupees in Moldorm's chest, so we're going into this with Master Sword spins.
Yeah, it's really risky to meme after you've killed Moldorm 2 because if you fall, Moldorm 2 respawns because you don't get the chest.
So I wonder where the other two swords are. Do you think they'll be on the remaining left side of Ganon's Tower, or do you think they are hiding in Ice Palace?
You mean the other one sword?
Wait, where'd that tempo come from?
Ack found that tempered sword in the mini Helma room.
Oh, okay. So,
but that one sword, maybe we'll get a Master Butter. That's what I would hope for.
Well, unless Cold Stare has like the last sword, then yeah. We definitely haven't seen all of Ice Palace because oneup didn't do the right side, and he went down to Cold Step. So
All right, so Ack is going for Aga 1 now.
good a time as any to do it, though he still has to do both Thieves Town and Ice Palace. I don't think we've seen him clear Thieves Town, so he's still got to go to the back there and get the big key and clear out blind.
And oneup is...
Yeah. Oh, he just remembers he's got to go get the boots from Mimic Cave. That's going to save him a lot more time than leaving them behind.
Fear was probably scared to death there to lose that progression. Almost died on Laser Bridge before opening the back door.
I don't like Kohrek. Okay, yeah, he's just hookshotting across. He was awkwardly close. Could have gone for the hover.
So Kohrek going for Aga 2. Meanwhile, Fear making it to Trinex. Yeah, given that Team 4K is basically a GT climb ahead, I think that makes up for, you know, more than enough for the missing turtle or Thieves Town on Axe side.
It depends on how long Team Capit spends in Ganon's Tower. There's a potential one of them could do a full left side clear and waste a lot of time, but the best thing for them would be to go for that right side clear, get the big key mirror, get the Master Sword on the left, and then ascend up the tower.
Because Ice Palace go mode is not that bad. And
so we've got Aga 1 here. How many blue balls? That's one.
all right, down goes Trinex on FEARAgent side. oneup just starting Trinex.
Still on 2 blue balls here, and Max getting a bit impatient. I think he's trying to dash in time to the music.
Honestly, I'm not. Given all the memes that Ack has done for us today, I'm surprised that we haven't seen a hammer or oh, he doesn't have the net. But I'm surprised we haven't seen a hammer. Aga 1. Oh, and oneup did get some potions, so will have enough magic to finish this fight out. And oneup hammering out Trinex. Meanwhile, Fear is checking Super Bunny and Hookshot for any swords. And FEARAgent entering GT.
I don't like that they're heading into GT this close to each other, because I think it's going to mean that one of them does a bit more on left side than is really necessary. Because one of them's going to go right, and one of them's going to go left. And Fear's going right.
It could be if Fear goes right, full right, that it could be good because the sword is on the left side. So it does look like Fear. Yep, avoid that tile room. So Fear will find the big key, and oneup will probably find that master sword on the left side. So they'll have knowledge of where both the required items are going in.
Oh, FEARAgent's torches went down. He has to go back and light them again. This one can be tricky to do if you do things like bonking off walls or getting a bit too stuck on the enemies here. So, luckily he's going to get his half magic right next to his big key.
Just making it through the door. And oneup finding that master sword. So this is good timing for them because Fear is about to find the big key here, and oneup will know that they don't need to check anything else. So I found out there is a way to do that torch room with just the lamp. It's very, very tight. But basically, you bomb jump across to the final torch on that right, fall down the hole, and then just run and light all the other torches. If you have boots, you have like a couple or a second or two left if you do it exactly perfect.
Yeah, I have seen it done with a lamp. Well, actually, last time I saw Ganon's Tower without the fire rod, which is like the only time I've seen Ganon's Tower without the fire rod. The big key was on the left side, and it turned out that the fire rod was halfway up the tower anyway, so... So I've never seen the Ganon's Tower send a completion of Randomizer without the fire rod whatsoever. But it is possible.
So Fear and oneup gonna do the climb together.
And Ack is on his way to Ice Palace. Whilst Kohrek's already halfway down there, so it's looking like they're definitely going to be in Ganon's Tower first out of everyone. It could oneup potentially had the chance to be in fighting Ganon first. Oneup potentially had the chance to fight Ganon first, but that death on Cold Stare really put him back a long way.
Yeah. But oneup will have to do both Aga 1 and Ganon's Tower, so even if he had killed Cold Stare, don't think there would be enough time to make it to Ganon first before Team 4K.
So Kohrek's heading down into this fight with a Tempered Sword instead of a Fighter Sword like oneup had, so he's going to have a bit of an easier time here. Don't have to mess around with this small hitbox of a hammer, because Tempered Sword does the same damage as a hammer. And you also have a couple of fire rod shots for Cold Stare if you so choose, because that half magic helps you break the ice without draining all of your magic. So Kohrek gets all the puff balls in the corner, swats them all down with Tempered Swords. One of them gets a little bit away, but blows up in short order, and yep, he's going to be our first runner heading into the Ganon fight. So FEARAgent and oneup are literally a room apart in Ganon's okay, 2 rooms apart now, but they're going to be doing land molars at the same time.
So Kohrek save and quit, and is now fighting Ganon. Alright, so Kohrek is now using Cane of Samaria block strats. Recently found this out that you can use the Cane of Samaria to hold yourself in place to make spins easy.
That is something I've never seen before. I mean, it's I've heard about it, but I've never actually seen it. So Kohrek now in phase 3.
Yeah, it's notably useful for Master Sword Ganon fights. And Ack making short work of Cold Stare. Meanwhile, Kohrek getting a nice double. And one more arrow to go. And down goes Ganon for Kohrek. So Kohrek will have bragging rights over Ack. But Team 4K first to strike down Ganon. And now Ack is headed in to do the Ganon fight. Meanwhile, Fear and 1UP are both fighting Moldorm 2. Fear having a Moldorm 2 fall.
I think perhaps that fall was deliberately trying to get as deliberately close as possible, but now 1UP's taking the advantage of him. Neither going for the Moldorm's chest there. So unfortunately for Fear and 1UP, they are a whole ice pass behind Team 4K at the moment. So assuming Ack doesn't take a ton of Ganon falls here, their average time is going. Well, both their times are going to be ahead of Team Kappa, so we won't have to worry about average time. It will be both of them ahead. But as it seems, Ack can finish off Ganon here.
Yeah. And it will be by quite a bit, because one of the FEARAgents still have Agate Tower to do, as well as Ice Palace. And Ack missing out on that triple, but getting Ganon down nicely, and down goes the big pig for Ack. So, getting the official times here. Kohrek finished with official SRL time in first place of 1 hour 37, 12 seconds, and Ack finishing second place, 1 hour 38 and 50 seconds.
FEARAgent made a mistake. Ganon gave FEARAgent a bit of a nasty insult there, because FEARAgent hasn't done Ice Palace yet, and he cannot beat. This is all dungeon, so you cannot beat Ganon without doing Ice Palace. You can get to the last phase, but then Ganon's just like saying, "Nope, I've had enough of this. I'm going invincible. Go do Ice Palace."
And we are joined by Team 4K. GG, congratulations. And how did you feel about this fighter sword scene?
Man, this was just a very painful. Like, I'm glad this was a co-op, because this was just a painfully long linear seed, and you had fighter sword the whole way. You were bootsless for most of it. Like, it was a grind.
Yeah, it was funny because Master Sword ended up being the go mode item.
Yeah, no surprise there.
You know, it's funny because I played a lot of I did play a lot of all dungeons was Key Sanity in the last tournament, and usually it's like Agate Tower is your go mode, and well, here you don't even need the Key Sanity. Agate Tower was my go mode. I needed that sword so I could do it, you know?
Oh, yeah, I guess you did.
Oh yeah, that's right. You never picked up the cape, so there you go.
That was a good thing that, you know, we did get those swords, because I forgot where the cape was. I would have just told him to figure it out. It was his problem, not mine.
Yeah, I wonder if we took all the memes back, if you would have finished ahead of Kohrek.
I'll probably.
Because I'm sure chat could tell you that we really loved the fake ped check.
Yeah, just seen in your credits, Kohrek, there's a sword on pedestal. Ah!
Wait, there was a sword?
Yeah.
Whoops.
That's amazing.
That's even better. We probably would have gotten that. That would have been a time waste. So technically, I saved us time by accidentally checking it on purpose.
Couldn't quite work out if like you checking the tab around the per course and oops or just memes. I mean, this is Team Kappa versus Team 4K, 4 head. It's a game of memes, man.
I mean, I studied Hylian, you know. I wanted to utilize my advantages. I can read that text.
Chat was concocting all sorts of bad combinations that could have tripped you up, and because everybody skipped the cutscene chest, so whatever item is in there, we don't know. But if there was a sorted cutscene on Ether and on the pedestal, that's what chat was hoping for.
Yeah. As long as there wasn't a sword on Bombo's tablet, we figured we were probably going to run into one regardless and not have to worry about too much.
Yeah.
They had to be there somewhere, so whatever. They were all in pretty good spots, and I think it went well with our route there at the end.
Alright, so FEARAgent finishing up the AGA 1 fight, and oneup headed over to ice. FEARAgent will be shortly behind. But yeah, those two are were remarkably synced for quite some time. They did pretty much GT the whole way through, pretty much at, you know, one room apart at the very most. But yeah, so how do you feel like you know, the teamwork worked between you two, and how did you enjoy the co-op in general?
I felt like everything went well. I mean, I felt like our route didn't really necessarily, I guess, work out in our favor. We split and conquered the world, but I mean, we both knew the mitts were at the Pyramid Ferry because there was really nothing else left, and it didn't seem like there was any way to get around routing that seed, so I felt like our split was good, and we played in 2 vs 2 before, so we worked pretty well together.
Yeah, and you know, like, kind of, did you have like a full-on plan, or was it just like a kind of some general guidelines going into this?
Really, the only thing we just needed to make sure was that we remembered that it was all dungeons, and then we felt like everything else was going to fall in place. Our practice seed, we basically skipped every single pendant boss for literally no reason, and then we're like, by the way, you realize this is all dungeons about an hour in. So our goal was just to not forget that, and then everything else would fall into place, hopefully.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a double header. So are you excited to get back into it in about 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, hopefully we could have a little bit more of a fun, maybe a quicker seed. I mean, it's co-op, so we should be able to bang these out, you know, a little faster without, like, literally having to last location your go mode item. But I think It can't get much worse than that. We're looking forward to it.
It's
Yeah.
actually kind of been the general theme for most of the cup races so far. There's been, in fact, this tournament has had a hell of a lot of last location items, and it's unfortunately inflicting the cup seeds at the moment too. So your times of like 137 and 138, so pretty much been the same as quite a lot of other finishes this week.
Yeah. I mean, the all dungeon does make a very interesting aspect, especially when you start getting like pendant mires, stuff like that, and you can start throwing medallions and canes and flutes and GT, and then you really don't know what's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you know, GT can have some troll items because, you know, you could have situations where you have something that's required for a pendant dungeon hidden somewhere in GT.
Yeah.
You know, so that's another thing that all dungeons has as a feature. And FEARAgent about to take down Cold Stare. And oneup is headed over to do the Ganon fight. Looks like oneup didn't remember that if you just save and quit, you can just be right back on top of the pyramid. So Fear and oneup will be fighting Ganon at relatively the same time Fear saving and quitting.
Yeah, they're pretty much 10 seconds apart at this point. Thanks to that.
But yeah, regarding the boots, at least the game was nice enough to give you a very clear hint of where the boots were, because sometimes it shows up as a, you know, a unique item is somewhere, but this time around it told you the boots are here.
Dude, I'm looking more forward to this. Who's gonna finish first between both of them? This is really close.
Looks like oneup's got that phase 2 first. And he's already in phase 3.
And Ganon doing what Ganon does best and just teleporting around and not sitting still. And down goes Ganon for oneup.
But thank you guys for the commentary and tracking. Try to have a better race for the next one. But appreciate it as always, guys.
Yeah, thanks for putting on an entertaining race, and thanks, Ack, for breaking out some of the memes for the crowd.
I don't know what you're talking about. Have a good one, guys.
All those time-wasting hovers.
Thanks, guys.
So oneup has finished in third place with a time of 1:48.38, and FEARAgent in fourth place with a time of 1:48.54. So get your GGs in chat for Team Kappa. Now finishing second overall, because obviously they are in third and fourth behind Kohrek and Ack, but they're still within 10 minutes. Then they actually a fairly nasty seed given where some of the items are in logic road. So GG to them. I don't know if they will be heading in for an interview or not, because, as mentioned, this is a double-header race. They are both of our teams here are going to be doing their second race almost immediately. So they're probably going to take a bit of a break first and then head into it. So
Well, no. Looks like Fear is in here, and so we might. It looks like Fear might want to have some words for this seed before we move into the second one.
Yeah, I just wanted to say how awesome that seed was, and you know, if anyone's looking to see how to run Link to the Past randomizer, make sure you watch this video, because I put on a masterclass in execution with all my falls and deaths and stupid poor execution. It was terrible.
Well,
I'm
you
just cur-
can't really be too hard on your execution because some of your routing was a little different, and Ack and Kohrek got some key items a bit ahead of you, but you're only 10 minutes behind. I think the only mistake I will criticize you for is diving into cannon a bit too early.
Oh yeah, I mean at that point it was over. I totally forgot. But man, we last location those mitts like hardcore.
Everybody did.
It was like last occasion for Ack, and just a case of either going to the Pyramid Ferry or the Ether Tablet, and there was nowhere else they could go. So last locations for everybody.
Yep.
Yeah,
And everybody last location the Master Sword as well.
such a mean. It was just a mean seed. If we're
Yeah.
gonna beat these guys, we have to get a little lucky. And this seed was not helping us at all. So hopefully you can put on a better show next one. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks guys for common tracking, by the way.
Yep. Thanks for putting on a great race.
So we're going to hand this off fairly shortly because they are going to be starting their second race very, very soon. So we're going to have another commentary team and another tracking team for that. So thank you for joining us tonight for this first race. But stay tuned because we have got more coming up from Team Kappa and Team 4K, Fourth, and Forehead coming right up here.
Yep. It should be about 10-15 minutes, and this second race will get started. So thanks for having us out here. And as we make the change of the guards, make sure you follow this team. We've got Revolving Ocelot, my co-commentator, Kono Tyran, our tracker, and Edium, our other tracker. As well as, if you haven't, take this break as an opportunity to follow all of our runners. Links are in the chat. I am H6C Jetters, and Ocelot, anything left?
No, great, but horrible race, and hoping the next one's better. I'm going to be watching it.